In the previous unit, we created this basin model for Cedar Creek. Let's explore what we have. So to see what we have, we are going to click on the plus sign here next to Cedar Creek. And after you do that, you will see all the subbasins and reaches that are created. So if you want, you can adjust the height of the Watershed Explorer window here. So let's click on any of the subbasins. So I'll click on subbasin 6, and you will see here some of the changes that we made earlier in the program settings. So for last method, we have SCS curve number. For unit hydrograph, we have SCS unit hydrograph. Similar to if you click on reach 2 or any reach, you will see that there is Muskingum method that we specified for routing. And if you click on any of these methods, you will see that all the parameters do not have any values at this point. So this is something we are going to explore later, how to input these parameters for these methods. So we can see here how many subbasins and reaches we have. We can count. So the maximum subbasin number that I see is 17, and the maximum reach number that I see here is 8. So this is one way to do it. The other way to do it is go to parameters, and then you can click on subbasin area, for example. So here right now it says initial selection, so you can see all elements, and that way you will see all the subbasins here. So you can see we have 17 subbasin, and then you can see all the area associated with it. You can sort these rows alphabetically. So again, you can see 17. The other thing you will see is that some of these subbasins have very small areas. So for example, subbasin 15 has less than 1 square kilometer. Subbasin 9 is also less than 1 square kilometer, and subbasin 17 is only 1.7. So what we can do is we can merge some of these subbasins with neighboring subbasins and get rid of those small areas. So let's see how we can do this merge. So remember, we have subbasin 9, we have subbasin 17, and we have subbasin 15. Now these numbers may be different for you, but hopefully you will see similar areas when you do this for your data set. So what we are going to do next is we are going to merge some of the subbasins to get rid of these smaller subbasins. So if you click on subbasin 9 here, that does get highlighted. So right now the highlight color is barely visible. We can actually also change that in the program settings. So let's go ahead and do that. So go to Tools, Program Settings, and then we will go to Basin Map. And right now the highlight color is light gray, this which is why we cannot see it. So let's change that to, let's say, green, and say OK, and let's select subbasin 9. So it is highlighted in green again because it is so small, it is hard to see. So let's zoom in, and you will see subbasin 9 here. So we can either combine or merge subbasin 9 with this subbasin, which is subbasin 8, or we can merge it with subbasin 13. So let's go ahead and merge subbasin 8 and subbasin 9. So what you do is you select one subbasin. So in this case it is subbasin 8. You push the shift button, and then you select again subbasin 9, and then you go to GIS and merge elements. Now the merge elements tool only works when you select two subbasins. So if you want to select more than 3, then you have to do it first 2 and then use the third one. So we selected subbasin 8 and 9 and merge. and if I select it now, you can see that it got a new name, which is subbasin 18. Okay, so 8 and 9 got combined, and we now have a new combined or merged subbasin, which is 18. Now let's combine the other two. So we have subbasin 15, which is also very small. So if you select it here, you can barely see it, but it's near the outlet. So this is our subbasin 15. So what we can do is we can combine this with, let's say, subbasin 10 or subbasin 14. So subbasin 10 is smaller. So let's go ahead and combine subbasin 10 and subbasin 15. So you select those using the shift key. You go to GIS and merge elements. Okay, so finally we have one more left, which is subbasin 17, which is also close to the outlet. So what we can do now is we can combine subbasin 17 with either subbasin 5 or subbasin 8. So it got a new name, subbasin 8, which is the merged basin from the previous step. So we can either combine this and this or this and this. So it's up to us. So let's go ahead and combine this and this and go to GIS and merge elements. And that is now merged. So let's zoom in and see. So this now has a new name, 9. So if you remember earlier we had combined 8 and 9, and when those were combined the new name was subbasin 18, and when we combined these now we have 8 and 9. So it's little bit strange naming, but as long as we have these merged worked out, we are in good shape. So let's go ahead and unselect all the subbasins, and we can go back and look at the areas now. So go to parameters, subbasin area, and you can see we got rid of the subbasins that had very small areas. So after the merge, we end up with 14 subbasins, and these are the areas associated with them. So in the next unit, we will see how we can assign parameters to all our subbasins and reaches, and extracting some of these parameters is tedious right now in HMS, and we will learn how to do that. So save your project, and this is it for this unit.